NBC News on KCAA Loma Linda is sponsored by Teamsters Local 1932, protecting the future of working families. Teamsters1932.org.
Welcome to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show, where we talk about food, fashion, finance, and foundations of life. We are live on KCAA Radio Broadcasting Network. KCAA is affiliated with CNBC, NBC News, and NBC Sports. We are sponsored by Sheltered Studios, Fire Connect, and Building Solid Foundation.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Fabulous Lifestyle Show, where finance meets everyday life in the most fabulous way possible. I'm your host, Ava V. Manuel, broadcasting live every second Sunday of the month at 3 p.m. Pacific on the KCAA Broadcasting Network, your Southern California gateway to CNBC, NBC News, and NBC Sports. Whether you're tuning in from your car radio or online or streaming through TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Amazon Music, Spotify, or your other favorite channels, we're thrilled to have you with us on this journey to financial empowerment and a fabulous lifestyle. As a partner and the editor-in-chief of the Los Angeles Tribune, a global news and media since 1886, I bring you insight, stories, and expert advice to help you unlock doors of opportunities and open up possibilities for greater financial freedom and a lifestyle you love. And for those who love to watch as well as listen, catch our previous shows on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, and the Android app by subscribing to the Building Solid Foundations channel. Today, and in every show, we're here to explore the intersection of money, mindset, and the choices that lead us to a prosperous life and a fabulous lifestyle. And it's not just about observing the rich and famous. We're about you scripting your own story where you can be the celebrity of your own extraordinary life. So let's dive in and let's make every penny count in paving your fabulous lifestyle. On this show, we're bringing in wellness and fitness experts and coaches Erin and Sarit, whose game-changing programs have transformed thousands of lives for the better. Their passion is to help people live a healthy lifestyle, and their mission is to transform the lives of millions through the same movement, nutrition, lifestyle, and financial habits that transform theirs. I'm excited to hear their story. Here on the Fabulous Lifestyle Show, Erin and Sarit. So Erin and Sarit, I am so excited that we have you on the show. This is only the second episode of the Fabulous Lifestyle Show, and it is so fabulous that I have the two of you on this show. So I would love to hear your story. Why wellness and fitness?
Man, that's a loaded question. And it starts with our stories. I can speak for myself, but I was overweight and I didn't feel good about myself. And I have a big personality, which you know, and I also wanted to hide. And so I was very conflicted. And so when I was able to transform, I recognized how powerful that was for other areas of my life, for my career, for business, for my finances, for all of that. It was a catalyst to other fabulous parts of my life.
That is amazing. And you guys have to watch this on TV next week because you wouldn't believe when she said she was overweight. Because, you know, I knew that just last year you competed and won a something. Tell me about that.
I competed in 2 CrossFit competitions and won first place in both.
Look at that. This is our fabulous lifestyle expert today. And of course, we've got Sarit. Sarit, tell us about your story.
Yeah, so my story is a little bit different. And what drove me to want to help people in this way is because it's a big part. It like Erin too, it was the catalyst that transformed me as well. So my background is a little bit different in the sense that I grew up being an overweight child, and I faced the consequences that come with that, and that is being made fun of, being isolated. being left alone, and then, trying to fit in by manipulating my body in superficial ways that only led to more and more just confusion until one day my dad had a severe heart attack and we almost lost him. And that is actually the day that made me look at how I executed my life. And it made me want to change my ways. And in order for things to change, we need to change first. So rather than looking at it in, I want to change my body in order to fit in, it was the mindset of what do I need to do to take care of my body so I can create the life that I'm proud of. So having figured out that out, I made an oath that if I figure this out, I'm going to spend the rest of my life to help others do the same. So that number one, no person has to feel self-conscious in how they look. And number two, no person or family member of a person needs to feel the consequences of a loved one who is suffering from chronic disease.
Sarit, I love that was your awakening moment, because we all have to come from something that really inspires us to take this journey. Because, I'll tell you a funny story. I raised 6 kids, and from my second son, I gave birth, but after I gave birth, I didn't lose weight. Like, I still had the child, and my journey has been such that every time I have a new child, I gain more and more and more. So I gained a lot of weight, and it's been a struggle for me. But I had a friend that I recently met and got really close with, who has very little filters. And he's like, aren't you tired of your body? Don't you, and it's not easy. I just have to be honest, right? Like, my joints ache. I get tired easily. So workout is definitely not in the list of things that I'd like to do when you're sore and you get tired easily, right? It doesn't make sense. But he asked me, like, aren't you tired of your body? Aren't you tired? And I would say yes. Internally I was, but I was not willing to admit that, right? I'm like, no, I'm not. Excuse me. I just went through a lot of healing to love who I am and love my body. And to tell me, is it your husband getting tired of your body? I'm like, no, he's not. So sometimes people resist. My own journey was that people were resisting weight loss from a place of it feels like being shamed. What can you say about that?
Yeah, it's a sensitive subject.
Yeah,
because we have experienced. It's a sensitive subject because we are insecure, because we're constantly concerned about what do we look like? How does this outfit look on me? Are people judging? What do they think? Or, and I know that when I was in that position too, I kind of felt like a fraud. Like, who's going to listen to me? Like, I can't take care of myself. Like, I don't look this part. And the reality is that when we feel great about our bodies, we accomplish.
that is true.
Because we've got more energy, like you're talking about. You don't have the joint, you don't have the fatigue, you don't have all these other things happening. And we can love ourselves and want to. So we can love ourselves and we can say, I'm not okay with where I'm at. Right? That doesn't mean that you have to feel shame and guilt are two of the lowest frequencies.
Yeah.
They're also two high emotions and feelings that come very frequently with women who are overweight.
That's true.
And we're just doing it to ourselves. Yeah. And so when we're on a frequency of where am I going, then we're more likely to get vision and inspiration and hope.
I love what you just said, because that's actually what got me to my weight loss journey. So going back to this friend who has very, very little filters, if any, he couldn't get through me to that liking your body. So finally, well, is there something that you've always wanted to do that would require less weight? What a beautiful question, right? And at that time, I just attended a friend's beauty pageant. She was Mrs. Morocco 2 years ago. And before I started having kids, I was joining beauty pageants, and I've always wanted to be in the pageantry. And so like having attended that just like really sparked that again. And I said, well, I've always wanted to be, in a beauty pageant, and my friend just won Miss Morocco 2 weeks ago. So it kind of like gave me hope that although I raised 6 kids, that's not over. And that would require less weight. And that became an inspiration and a reason for me to start, with inspiration, desiring the weight loss and desiring, and you know what? One of the things that I discovered is the moment you desire it, the weights show up. Yeah. It starts with desire. Because for as long as I didn't have the desire, like there's no looking for it. But the moment the desire was sparked from an uncanny question that was slightly crossing boundaries, when the desire was sparked, I could tell you, having lost weight, and I still have weight to lose, but it's really set me into a trajectory where I feel good, I have energy, I can do the things that I'd love to do. And talking about fabulous lifestyle, not that weight will not allow you to have fabulous lifestyle, but wellness. And I love what you do because you work with all weights, right? Wherever they go, because I've seen your community. And there's such a lovely community. Your community are just like really thriving, like women who just are showing up with the desire. And wherever their weight levels are, there's something about the two of you that just breeds acceptance.
Yeah, I want to say something that's because you said you have a desire.
Right.
You said you have a desire. I think that this is my own personal opinion, and you can agree or disagree.
All right.
But I think that when we look in the mirror and we don't like what we see, and we like what we see less when we're overweight.
And then,
right? So when we look in the mirror, we don't like what we see. We're already telling ourselves, oh, I wish it. Oh, I wish. That's not a desire. That's a wish.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. And if you have a wish with a deep, meaningful purpose to why you want something to wear, yeah, you have a desire.
Right.
And it came from you. Does it come from somebody else? If you're trying to lose weight because you want to please somebody else or you want to look good for somebody else, it's never going to work. It has to happen for you. And there's got to be, and there can be other things or people that inspire it. Children. I want to be a good example to my children. I don't want them to struggle with the same.
Right.
So on and so forth. But if you have a bigger purpose where you're like, it's not because I want to look good and like, yeah, no, there's who knows, they want to be on the wax, whatever it is, you have to love it. That's true. And then you're ready for the discipline, the action, the early morning, and waking up before you want to wake up, getting to the gym when you feel tired, saying no to the pizza when it's right in your face, turning down mom's chocolate cookies or Christmas cookies. Like, when you have a purpose, it's not so hard. That's the discipline.
That's very true. I love that because we all get to have like different reasons where we come from, but ultimately, weight loss is definitely something that allows us to enjoy life more, in different aspects.
I say life is more fun in a fit body.
Life is more fun.
Life is more fun in a fit body. You can do more. You can do things for a longer period of time. When you put on clothes, you don't have to put on another set or another set or another set.
Right.
What makes you feel the best.
Right. And well, to me, the biggest thing is that I didn't need to hide anymore. Because, you have to hide in your clothes. And that is a lot of subconscious effects more than beyond what we are aware of. And I wasn't actually aware of it until I was losing the weight and I was wanting to show up more. And that showed the difference. So, Sari, in your silence, what do you want to add?
Yeah.
This is that conversation.
So I want to share why that happened. So speaking from a money and a finances standpoint, so in the book, The Science of Getting Rich, the author, Walter Wallace, talks about how everything in life is meant to grow and progress. And whether it's your story, whether it's me going back to my story, when I look at myself in the mirror after I was being made fun of by so many kids, and I wanted to look different so I would be accepted. It's because when we look in a certain way, is that presents negative progression or progression backwards, we're actually acting not in accordance to the laws of nature. And I believe that us wanting to get in better shape, that could be, okay, so like for you, you want to lose more weight. For me, when I look in the mirror, I still strive to look better every single day, right? So it's not like,
And you guys have to say this on TV.
and it's not like it ever stops. It's just a matter of we're always seeking to express ourselves in a better way because that's what we're designed to do. Like, like a seed is not meant to be a seed. A seed grows to become a tree. Same happens with us. So when we're out of shape, when that's just like one life bucket, when other life buckets, when we feel like we don't have our shit together, or maybe we're not making as much money like we know we should, we desire that, and it's natural because it is in accordance to the laws of nature. So I just wanted to add that, and I also wanted to give you, the audience, like 3 tips that can help you to shift your ways of, okay, like, what do I do from here? So
before you give that,
yeah,
we do have some sponsors in this show. So I'm going to go pause for a short break. And then when we come back, we're going to come back to the 3 tips that Sarit's going to give you. We'll be right back.
This is Steve Matley. Join me every Thursday at 3 p.m. right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations radio talk show. I spent decades as a professional construction manager, business owner, real estate developer, and a college educator, and I enjoy learning new things from other people. We talk a lot about real estate, business, and finance, but we cover a diverse range of other topics as well. Some of the topics we've discussed in the past few months include real estate investing, leadership, higher education, ADUs, marketing using technology, multifamily rental properties, business strategy, entrepreneurship. You never know who may show up or what they may talk about, so join us right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations Radio.
FireUp Connect is the most innovative business networking group, supporting and collaborating with a dozen of small businesses that are interested in building and establishing strong business connections, hosting educational live seminars while carrying out business and community-driven projects, as well as marketing programs as a part of its membership program. FireUp Connect also offers virtual assistance with a wide range of services including inbound customer support, chat support, appointment setting and email management, graphic designing, video editing, web design and development, social media marketing, e-commerce solution, content writing and much more. For more information, head on over to www.fireupconnect.com. FireUp Connect, helping success stories unfold every day.
Real Men of Real Estate.
Men of Real Estate radio show here on KCAA.
Most mortgages can be purchased.
All of us want to live in thriving communities.
Basically, go to the radio station, kcaaradio.com.
Welcome back to the Fabulous Lifestyle Show, where finance meets everyday life in the most fabulous way possible. And of course, we're still here with Erin and Sarit on the topic of wellness. And I'm so excited because Sarit just paused on giving us 3 tips. Before you do that, I always say, like, when I was more overweight, it was almost like an elusive thought to even think that it's possible to lose weight. Interesting. Yeah, like a lot, like I settled to it's impossible. Coming from where I was, it really seemed impossible. Like I was sore all the time. I have a busted knee and my ankle is bad. Like I can't lose weight, It wasn't even about the food, but I was so deconditioned. I was so deconditioned that plus life and kids and effort that, work, and I don't have the energy. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? What workout? But
One of the things that I know with your community is that it's fun. You make it fun. So I would love to hear the 3 tips that Sarit has for us. And of course, Erin, I know you will talk.
Yeah, and I want to inspire somebody. Like, if you feel like you're in that position where you're like, I can't, know that when people look at me and Sarit, they're like, yeah, but I'm not you. I can't. We were not us 10 years ago. We were not us 10 years ago. I have not always been in great shape. And so it's a journey. And as cheesy as it might sound, it literally starts with the first step. It's one walk for 20 minutes outside. It's, you know, and it doesn't have to be grandiose, crazy. So you give your 3 tips, but that's where you can.
Yes.
So Ava, you said that our community is fun, and it is. So the first thing that I wanted to share is that this is not about starting a diet or, you know, doing a crash course or anything along these lines. It's about building a lifestyle. So we are known to be the anti-diet girls, and what we do is, instead of teaching you how to diet, we teach you how to build a lifestyle so that you never have to diet ever again. So of course, in order for anything to be sustainable, we gotta like what we do.
Right.
So that's why the way that we do what we do is we help our community to build a lifestyle that is fun, because when it is fun, then you want to keep doing more of it, and eventually you get hooked. So thing number 1 is,
imagine waking up and being excited to do your workout because you had a good time doing the last one, even if you're sore.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Yeah. So thing number 2 is just like what Erin said. You wanna start with one action step, and you want to get really good at doing this action step. The hardest thing to grasp about it is that it could seem too simple to be true, and you're not going to see like your entire body like completely transform overnight. So just hang on while I share this with you.
Can I tell you my number 1? My first step that I did was to drink water.
Yeah, great. It can be that simple.
I think we were talking about it.
Yes. You know what's amazing is, you know, I was so sore. Like even without working out, my muscles were sore, and then and I was always tired, and it turns out I'm dehydrated. So I had someone recommend alkaline water, and somehow maybe because I drank a lot of coffee, my acidity was very high. I was very sore. When I had the alkaline water, 2 things happened. Like my soreness went away, and being more hydrated, I got more energy. And so my first step was a no-brainer. It was just drink more water. Yeah. And then it allowed me to like make the second step easier and the third step easier. Yeah.
So start with one thing. So like the pillars that we use in order to help people to build a better lifestyle is there is movement, there is nutrition, there is regeneration from a physical component. Now there is more to that. Let's start with those 3 main ones. So which of these 3, so regeneration has to do with like sleep or hydration, what Ava was talking about. Nutrition is what you eat, and movement is exercise, working out, the whole ordeal. So I would say, which of these, on a scale of 1 to 10, do you feel most inclined to want to do?
Regenerate.
Beautiful.
I want to sleep more.
Great. So you can like start by adding 15 minutes of sleep per day and get so good. So like if, let's say right now you sleep for 6 hours per night, and you're like, okay, regeneration is the thing that I feel, you know, most drawn to. I have the least amount of barriers. Okay, then let's start by you adding an additional 15 minutes and get really good at sleeping for 6 hours and 15 minutes for the next 7 days, and do it 7 days in a row. And then let's talk about how we can build you from there.
And then you earn your build.
You earn your build.
You earn your build.
You don't cut corners. Here's the thing.
Okay, hold on. Tell me about earning the build. What does that mean?
Yeah. So, look, everybody wants to jump from 0 to 100.
Right.
I'm doing keto tomorrow and intermittent fasting and
No. You got to earn the intensity. You've got to earn the build, because if you're not acclimated to it, it's like somebody going from the Bahamas, who lives in the Bahamas, to Antarctica in what they're wearing in the Bahamas. You're not acclimated. You will die. It will not work. Good luck. There might be a freak, like one out of, a million that will do it, right? But they won't have fun. It won't be sustainable. You've got to acclimate, so you've got to earn it. If you want to get intensity, you have to prove to yourself first you can do it at a lower intensity. You had to be disciplined. You had to overcome challenges. You had to do things you didn't feel like doing, and you did them anyways, and you're proud of yourself. That is confidence.
Right.
You earn it.
Right.
And so it's just like the way you earn the intensity is also building your confidence.
And the moment you choose to just like even make yourself a priority, it already feels good. It already feels good to make yourself the priority, and that, that you choose one thing, choosing yourself. So that's
Can I say something about self-love too?
Yes.
I must. This is so powerful.
Yeah. Yes.
Because people think that self-love is justifying for yourself. People think that self-love is accepting your excuses to not be what you know you can be. Self-love is respecting you, which means you feed your body well. You move your body because you care about you. You sleep because you know that that's going to be the best thing for you, right? And it's self-love is, I did my workout even though I didn't feel like it.
Yes.
Because I know that that's good for my body.
So good.
Right? Self-love isn't, but like, had a hard day, so I should love myself and eat a pizza. No. That is not loving you.
Right.
Same thing with like the way that we talk to ourselves. Would you tell a 13-year-old girl some of the things that you tell yourself when you look at the mirror?
Yeah. No, of course not.
Right. So self-love is not making justifications for not doing what we don't feel like doing in a moment because of our feelings, when we know that doing that thing is the best thing that would be for us.
Yeah. I have a powerful revelation on this regard, when you say loving yourself is not just I love myself and allow myself to have a pizza. So when I was first stepping into the realms of a lot of wealthy people, and I'm walking in, envisioning to be one of them, I felt like a fraud, right? Like we all go through, what do you call that? The imposter syndrome. And I went into the restroom. I just felt so sick, and I went to the restroom. And I'm a Christian believer, and in that when I went to the restroom, I'm like, God, why do I feel so not like $1 million? I have fake. Like fake. Yeah. I have a friend who was doing my branding at that time, and she's the $1 million brander. That's her company, is $1 million brand. And she's like, you gotta walk like $1 million brand, but God, I don't feel like $1 million. And then this voice, I swear, it sounds like me. It's like me arguing with me, except I cannot come up with this. Like, where's this coming from? Who's talking to me? But this thought said, well, you don't feel like $1 million because you don't believe you're designed as $1 million, as $1 million body. I said, you don't believe that you have $1 million body because you don't believe that you're designed with $1 million body. And then I sat quietly and thought about, I don't believe I'm designed with $1 million body. What does that mean? He said, well, think of a Ferrari who isn't treated like a Ferrari. I've got 6 kids, right? So like you just, let the kids throw French fries in the back seat, and you've got soda that's spilled, from a week old, and then, like all of the things that happens in the car with 6 kids, was being in this conversation in my head. And then, and then you don't wash your car, and then you put cheap oil, and then you put cheap gas, and then you wonder why this car doesn't feel like a Ferrari. Because you don't treat it like a Ferrari.
Yes. When you think about a successful or a wealthy person,
Yeah.
You think about what are the attributes of that person.
Right.
They show up, they're punctual, they're disciplined, they're consistent, they're confident, they got it going on, they run the show, they're leaders.
Right.
And if you don't feel like you're behaving like that, then you feel like a fraud.
And so, along that line, I came out of the restroom saying, well, first of all, I apologize for not seeing myself as $1 million design. I'm like, I'm so sorry that I didn't see myself as a Ferrari. It doesn't take away from the fact that you are a Ferrari, even though you were like giving yourself the cheapest gas, the cheapest oil, throwing French fries in the back. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna treat myself like a Ferrari. And I walked out of that restroom feeling like a Ferrari.
Yeah, you gotta clean it.
And the realization that the fault was that I haven't been treating myself like a Ferrari, but I am a Ferrari. I'm a red Ferrari, you know? So I actually walked out of there no longer feeling like an imposter. I am a Ferrari. I just haven't treated myself as one. I haven't seen myself as one. And that goes for all of us. On your last note, what's the third tip?
Yeah, so here's exactly how you take the steps to treating yourself with a Ferrari. I love that analogy. It's all about intention, right? If the expectation is, I am a Ferrari, then intend to lead in that way. So what do I mean by that? What I mean is, whatever it is that you do, always choose the best route possible. So for example, let's say if you want to have dinner and you're stopping at a restaurant, like, what would be the meal that you could choose that would be the best thing for you in that moment? See, a lot of people limit themselves because they're looking for an ideal situation, when the reality is that it's doing the best that you can with what you've got,
right,
rather than seeking the ideal. Because let's face it, ideal situations come on January 1st, on Monday morning.
When the sun is shining.
So it is not so much about ideal, it's about how can you create the best circumstance with what you've got, right? So I don't know, for example, what your favorite food is. Let's say if your favorite food is fried chicken with mac and cheese, okay? Like, how can we make the chicken better? And what could we do to put it on the side instead that will be a better than option? So like, we have a statement in the community, in our community, that's called better than. So it's not about not having desserts. It's not about not drinking a glass of wine. It's not about not loving your life. It's about how can you make the most ideal situation? How can you make the best decision that you can in this given scenario in the moment, and really be intentional about it and track it? So when you lead that way, then what that does is it creates incremental progress.
Yeah.
And incremental progress over time leads to monumental results. Yeah.
I love that. I love the direction that we went, because I really didn't know where we were going with the direction of wellness in Fabulous Lifestyle Show. And I love that we landed with like really coming back to self-love and starting with making the best choice at the given moment. And it just like really landed for me even right now. Like the moment you see your value, the moment you see that you are a Ferrari, for a long time after that, I'm like, would you feed McDonald's to a Ferrari? I'm like, no, we're not going to have McDonald's right now. And even whatever choices there is, like organic or not, like, what would you feed a Ferrari?
Yeah,
and that's
you
the
don't
choice.
You don't get home, you don't take your Ferrari into your garage and then be like, you did a great job, Ferrari, you get 2 cookies. That's not self-love. Also,
Right.
I had a really hard day, I'm really tired, I deserve, ice cream. No, that's not self-love. I did great today, so I'm going to treat myself with what? Something else that will treat a Ferrari like a Ferrari.
Yeah. Well, Erin and Sarit, thank you so much for gracing the show. How can people find you? And I know that you said you wanted to give a free gift to our audience, so how can people find you?
Yeah, you can go to erinandsarit.com. It's Erin, ERINANDSARIT.com. And you can click the button right there that says Get Started, and it's a surprise gift.
Yay. Well, thank you so much. I'm excited because I know that we've landed some self-love and 3 tips for our audience today for a fabulous lifestyle.
Yes. So just to wrap things up, the 3 tips are: remember, it is not about a diet, it's about building a lifestyle, because that's the only way you can sustain it. It's about starting with one thing and being really consistent at that. And then, of course, leading with more. When you go to erinandsuri.com, we're going to literally show you how you can start building that roadmap. Because you're like, well, maybe like, which one do I choose? So just go to erinandsuri.com. I'll hook you up. There's no doubt about that. And then thing number 3 is, remember, it's about doing the best that you can with what you've got in the given moment that you have, instead of just trying to look for ideal scenarios, so that you can actually claim your life and take control of your life. And lastly, you can find us at all social platforms at Erin and Suri. We're on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere.
They're the E&S Army.
Yeah.
And you're in for a treat when you meet their community.
Yeah.
Hey, and thank you so much for
You're
having us.
welcome. It's such a joy. Thank you. And so we're going to be back on our next segment. Who we're going to interview is going to be a surprise for you. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Los Angeles Tribune page. Here you will find original news programming, exclusive digital events, and shows that are directly from the community. At the Los Angeles Tribune, we believe in giving a voice to the voiceless. We are proud to be the only national brand to empower everyday people to make a difference. Since 1886, our reputation has been built on truth and responsibility. Thank you for watching and making a difference.
For general inquiries, contact today. Thank you on behalf of the Los Angeles Tribune team.
This is Steve Matley. Join me every Thursday at 3 p.m. right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations radio talk show. I spent decades as a professional construction manager, business owner, real estate developer, and a college educator, and I enjoy learning new things from other people. We talk a lot about real estate, business, and finance, but we cover a diverse range of other topics as well. Some of the topics we've discussed in the past few months include real estate investing, leadership, higher education, ADUs, marketing using technology, multifamily rental properties, business strategy, entrepreneurship. You never know who may show up or what they may talk about, so join us right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations Radio.
Welcome back to the Fabulous Lifestyle Show, where finance meets everyday life the most fabulous way possible. I did promise you that I'm bringing back a surprise guest when we come back. And right now, what we have is my personal coach, who's like very dear to my heart. Lorna is an award-winning real estate broker with over 20 years experience. She has achieved various awards for the Hudson Valley Association of Realtors with over 1,500 transactions completed. As a transformational leadership mentor with over 6 years experience coaching and mentoring driven female entrepreneurs and leaders to find their authentic self with clarity and confidence, she has helped hundreds of women to make more money. Talk about fabulous lifestyle and finance, right? From a financial perspective, she has partnered with Kingdom Wealth Builders, who are dedicated to transforming financial literacy in this country. And as a coach, she is committed to creating results. Here on the Fabulous Lifestyle Show, welcome Lorna Sherland. Oh my gosh, thank you. I am honored. I have to say, you're my very first coach. And you are the one who held me high and saw my greatness when I couldn't quite see it yet. So thank you. And it's an honor to have you on the show. You are really an inspiration. You know, when I found out that I was doing a show on finance, I'm like, I gotta get Lorna there. Did not even realize that I will manifest having you on the second show right away. So I am just so grateful that you're here. So tell me, what's your perspective on finance? When we talk finance, my goal in this show is to make it realistic and doable for people. It's not something, far off, but like, how can people view finance in a way that's like you can have more?
Yeah, empower it, right?
Right.
Well, first of all, let me say thank you. Thank you for having me on your show. I'm super honored and super proud. Super proud of you and what you created in the world and bringing this kind of information to the masses. That's powerful, right? So I want you to really get it for yourself that this show is anointed.
I receive it.
You get that?
I receive it.
Because, and I'm going to go off a tangent before I introduce myself, the media runs the world.
Very true.
And you are now a part of the media. So when you step into that position, it's a position that is an authority, that now your voice gets to bring others their voice to the masses. Do you get your position?
Well, do you see why this is my coach and my mentor? I'm gonna have to like really sum it up. I do see, and this is why we create in the Los Angeles Tribune. We are committed to bringing news that's uplifting, inspiring, and educating. Everything that we do will be inspiring, empowering, and lifting humanity's consciousness. That's our commitment. Absolutely, that's our commitment, because we do understand the fiduciary responsibility of us being media, and the legacy that was handed over to us from our forefathers and foremothers in journalism from 1886. So what an honor. So I do understand that. Thank you. And thank you for
So let me tell you who I am. My name is Lorna Sherland, and I'm so excited to be here to share this information. This interview with Abba is amazing, an amazing opportunity. And I help see driven female entrepreneurs to get to the next elusive step so that they can skyrocket there. So thank you for having me on. I'm excited to be here. Question away.
Yes, money. Let's talk about money. I love how you said elusive. So usually people do think of money as something that's elusive.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts? I'm bringing Lorna Sherland to you because she has a way about money that actually feels good. So tell me more.
Well, my journey has been, like most of everybody who's going to be listening to this, what is money? Yeah. Right. So the first question you got to ask yourself is, what is money? We were in a discussion I shared with you. And by the way, I want to share a story. I was actually in a Uber coming to meet you, and I was having the same conversation with a lady in the Uber. The money is feedback. Money is a function of value. That's the first thing it is. Money is a function of value. So if you look at everybody who is rich, right? How did they get there? They did work their way there. If you think about it, right? They actually gave value. So now you get to look at what is value.
What is value?
What is value, right? Because the money isn't the value. The value is you. You are the gift. You are the value. In exchange for you, they give you the paper.
Yeah.
And I hope it doesn't sound esoteric, right?
No, at all.
But if you really look at it, once you know your value, then you can command the money, right? So if you look at people like Richard Branson, right? He knew that whatever he created, he knew how valuable he was in the world. So he's been creating stuff that people want.
Right.
So that's how you get paid a lot of money. You got to create what people want, and they'll give you the money for it. Right. Well, what is the thing gonna do for them?
Right.
You got to think about what the thing is gonna do for them. Right. And so Richard Branson, I'll keep with that example. Richard Branson, he does, and I literally just saw a new hotel. It looks new to me. Virgin Hotel. Look outside. There's a ton of hotels. Why would he do a hotel? Because he creates an experience, right, that people value, so that they give him the money. Right? So they're getting something from it, right? So that's what causes them to give the money. So then you got to look at yourself and say, okay, what is money to you? You got to define that, and then say, okay, what value can I bring to get?
So what I'm hearing is like money is an exchange of value.
Yes.
Right. So that's my first definition when you ask me like, what is money to you? Money is, like you said, like it's just a paper, but it's a representation of an exchange of value. And what I'm hearing, in a more practical way, like we get to take an inventory, of ourselves and say like, where can I bring value? And like, what skill sets or talents, what am I good at? Whether it's I couldn't get tamales off my head, like making tamales, that would exchange value. And how do I make that, package that in a way that's more exotic, for example, or an experience that can command more value?
Yes, definitely. And as you're sharing that, what came up for me is, let's say if you're listening to this and you are in a job, right? That doesn't mean that you have value to the employer who's paying you the check, right? So the question then becomes, how do I add, if that job is something you love, how do I add more value to the employer, to the owner, the business owner that you're working for, your work in the organization? So you can be in a job and still command more money just by adding more value. What does that look like? An idea that's going to raise the price of a product, a system that's going to improve processes in an organization. It could look like anything like that. And then you get a raise and now you have more money.
Yeah,
it's all feedback.
Feedback. Tell me more about feedback. For some of us, feedback may sound new. What's feedback?
So feedback is just, it's saying to you, okay, what did I do to get the thing? And I'm using the word get intentionally, right? It's just, okay, if I didn't do something, I didn't get something. That's feedback. You didn't do a thing, so you're not getting nothing for it, right? You do the thing and you get something. That worked. I did the thing and I got something. That's feedback. Feedback is just telling you what's happening in the space. It's a happening. It's like inevitable. You have feedback everywhere in your life. You have feedback in conversations. You have feedback in your body. When your body don't feel good, that's feedback. When you have an ankle pain, that's feedback. It's saying, body's brain gets notified. Something is happening in my ankle.
Okay.
It's all, feedback is happening every time.
So money is also, additional definition is many things, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But money is also feedback.
Yes.
So a good way to increasing our value, increasing our money is also looking at, okay, what's my money situation? And what's the feedback it's giving me?
Yeah. So feedback, like for instance, let's go to credit, right? Because credit is credit money. Let's go there.
Well, it gives access to money.
Because credit to me is esoteric. It's not tangible as a paper dollar. You see that? It's like we gotta go there. It's an energetic. It's an exchange. It's still an exchange. Right. Because you're exchanging the thing, right, for the credit.
Yeah.
It's not physical money. So this is why you gotta really get clear on what money is.
Okay, so credit is many things. When I hear credit, I think of credit scores, and and the other thing is credit, how much money is available to you, in a certain financial institution.
I disagree with that.
Okay,
because you hear what you just said. Credit available to you. It's
like, for example,
you said money available to you. Yeah, but the credit line you may never touch the money.
Right.
It's still there's an exchange.
Right.
See that? It's not the physical money. So that's why we gotta really get clear on what money is. If you stick with money is an exchange of value, then you will figure out for yourself how much money is gonna make you happy. And that's the next thing too, right?
Right.
I shared with you that I partnered up with Kingdom Wealth, and one of the things we do first time we meet a client is we find out what is their financial independence number, because that's a number that really, I see it all the time. It just equalizes everything, right? Because once you know what your financial independence number is, then you can make a decision from there. How much more money do you want to have? So instead of just saying, I want $1 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you'll be like, okay, because some people want $1 million, but they're not willing to do what gets to be done to make it $1 million.
Yes.
Right? So when you know your financial independence number, you know this is the number that's gonna make my life work.
Right.
And once you know that, then you say, okay, now I want to leave legacy for my son. Now I want to leave legacy for my grandson. Now I want to be a giver and give, philanthropically to somebody, right? And now he said, okay, what do I get to do? What do I get to exchange for that?
Right.
But see how you took care of you, financial independence number. you gotta live life. Life happens. Money touches everything in your life, right? Now you can go up and say, yeah, I get $1 million. I can give 100,000.
That's awesome. And you know, it's powerful that as I look at you and we're talking about the solid foundation knowledge of like knowing your financial independence number, I should say, I still have to get that test because I don't know what it is. And from there, we're needing to others. I remember where you came from. When you first came to this country, I remember it wasn't $1,000 that you had in your pocket. So about $50. How do you come to America with $50?
$60. You come to America with $50 with a vision. You want to go there. Back then, you know, leaving Jamaica, just thinking about it, back then, the country would not allow you to leave without checking you, right? And my mom was straight up, she was not gonna break the rules, right? So $50 is what I had, you know, and I came here. I remember I used to work for this lady in Staten Island, older lady, and she was halfway dementia. That didn't work. But you know, you go through these things. You got to go through these things in life. Nothing starts at the top, right? Because if you start at the top, what goes up, life comes down. So it's very true. Incremental growth is the idea, right? And in Kingdom Wealth, they teach it. We teach it about how you grow incrementally, right? You may start with $50, right? And then you add another 50, and you add another 50, and you add another 50, you know, providing you've done the financial independence piece, you add another 50, add another 50, and all of a sudden you have $1 million. I give you an example. I was sharing with you earlier. I was looking at Yahoo Finance, and I saw this article about this UPS guy. He's going to retire, and he's already making $550,000 a year. UPS making $550,000 a year.
Yeah.
Right? What did he do? He provided value. He solved the problem. So let me say it another way. How I said money is based on the value you give. Well, money is also based on the problems you solve. The reason why Richard Branson can make so much money, the reason why Warren Buffett can make so much money is because they're all solving problems. Value and solving people's problems. That's all you hear from this interview?
Yes, only. And actually, money is less elusive now, you know, just from understanding like money is value, it's feedback, and we'll work and we give value so that, you know, we can have that exchange and understanding, you know, where we are in our financial independence for. So I know that you have resources for people to be able to like come from like where you came from, you know, where you were saying she came to America with $50, you know, and like worked your way. So wherever you are in the scale of, you know, financial independence or the lack thereof, know that in America, and, you know, there are ways to be able to exchange the value, know your worth, and what you can do to exchange that so you can have more of the money that you want. And Lorna Sherland is one that you would definitely want to follow and see what resources she and tools she can have available for you. You know, in her world, people make money in many different ways, and there are many different options, you know, to be able to make more of it.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to just ask, you know, where can people find you?
So what I'm going to invite people into is to follow me on Instagram at Coach Lorna Sherland, at Coach Lorna Sherland. And you can also send me an email. Very simple. Lorna@lornasherland.com.
Absolutely. And I tell you, you're in for a treat. You email her, you know, you're in for a treat because talking about someone who's made it from $50 coming to America to where she is right now, coaching entrepreneurs who are driven entrepreneurs to make more money. She's definitely someone that you'd like to be able to have around you.
If you want to get higher, you got to hang out with people who have the thing that you want. If you want to get higher, you got to talk to the people who have the thing you already want. So the Kingdom Wealth Builders, we do have a tour that we're taking on the road right now. As a matter of fact, as I'm recording this, they're actually in session. So we're literally taking financial independence on the road. And I hope I could give you the link for that so you can post it so that people can get access. Come on in so that we can
share with you some really good information that's not out there in the world. The stuff that we're going to teach you, they're not teaching in schools. And this is our stance for humanity, for this country, for people to get financial education so that they can make different decisions.
But also, I would say, look out where you can find us, Fabulous Lifestyle Finance. And we will definitely have the link in the recap from our Lorna Charlotte.
Yeah.
Lorna, thank you so much. It has been a pleasure to have this conversation with you. And thank you for the value that you've given our audience today. And we'll be right back. Thank you to the Los Angeles Tribune for being the sponsor of this show. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Los Angeles Tribune page. Here you will find original news programming, exclusive digital events, and shows that are directly from the community. At the Los Angeles Tribune, we believe in giving a voice to the voiceless. We are proud to be the only national brand to empower everyday people to make a difference. Since 1886, our reputation has been built on truth and responsibility. Thank you for watching and making a difference.
For general inquiries, contact today. Thank you on behalf of the Los Angeles Tribune team.
This is Steve Matley. Join me every Thursday at 3 p.m. right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations radio talk show. I spent decades as a professional construction manager, business owner, real estate developer, and a college educator, and I enjoy learning new things from other people. We talk a lot about real estate, business, and finance, but we cover a diverse range of other topics as well. Some of the topics we've discussed in the past few months include real estate investing, leadership, higher education, ADUs, marketing using technology, multifamily rental properties, business strategy, entrepreneurship. You never know who may show up or what they may talk about. So join us right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations Radio.
Welcome back to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show, where finance meets everyday life in the most fabulous way possible. Today, we had the privilege of really looking into wellness in producing finance. I love what Erin and Sarit said about it's more fun in a fit body. And really looking into finance, it's a little bit of a different view on our second episode on the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show focusing on finance that we brought wellness and fitness in, but it is fundamental. Last week, we talked about mindsets, we talked about energies, vibrations, and even relationships. And that's very powerful. And business strategies also. So you can watch that on Roku, on demand with the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show, Building Your Solid Foundations channel. And you could also watch it on Amazon Prime and Android. But this week, it's so fundamental that we looked at wellness and fitness, and also on providing value with Lorna Sherland in being able to create the finances, the fabulous lifestyle that you desire, that you want, because you can create it. You can achieve it, and you can have it. This is Ava V. Manuel, the editor-in-chief of the Los Angeles Tribune, very, very proudly sponsored by the Los Angeles Tribune. And you can visit the Los Angeles Tribune at thelosangelestribune.com or our Special Thought Leader edition at latribunespecialedition.com. With that, I wish you a fabulous lifestyle. And remember that a fabulous lifestyle is achievable. It's a state of mind, is a feeling, it's an enjoyment. I remember how Sharon Lecter says, wealth is how you feel about yourself when you look at the mirror. So until then, until the second Sunday of next month, where we talk about finance here at the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show, we'll see you next time.
The Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show, where we talk about food, fashion, finance, and foundations of life. We are live on KCAA Radio Broadcasting Network. KCAA is affiliated with CNBC, NBC News, and NBC Sports. We are sponsored by Sheltered Studios, Fire Connect, and Building Solid Foundation.
You're on board KCAA's Inland Talk Express. KCAA, Loma Linda, 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
What would you do if you had a broken bone? You'd go to the doctor and use your insurance, right? Well, what would you do if you have a serious problem with drugs and alcohol? Most people do nothing until it's way too late. Your insurance can help you get clean and sober with the assistance of a place like the Detox and Treatment Helpline. Many times, addiction treatment is fully covered. So why not use your insurance to treat your addiction problem just like you would if you had a broken bone? And with the Family Medical Leave Act, you're allowed to take time off by law, and your employer doesn't need to know the reason. So there are two good reasons. You've got insurance you can use for your addiction problem, and with the Family Medical Leave Act, it's completely confidential. Call now, 800-398-7414. That's 800-398-7414.
NBC News on KCAA Loma Linda is sponsored by Teamsters Local 1932. Protecting the future of working families, Teamsters1932.org.
NBC News Radio, I'm Tammy Trujillo. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he pulled out of ceasefire negotiations over the war in Gaza because of delusional demands by Hamas. Netanyahu said Israel sent negotiators to Cairo last week as requested by President Biden, but added they won't be back until Hamas changes its demands. Hamas is calling for a permanent ceasefire and the release of more than 1,500 prisoners from Israeli jails. A South Carolina Democrat and longtime friend of President Biden says misinformation efforts are his biggest concern regarding the 2024 presidential campaign.
I've heard so much from people who seem to feel that everything they see or hear via the internet has some substance to them.
Speaking on CBS's Face the Nation, Congressman James Clyburn said people believe a lot of negative information online about Biden that isn't true. Clyburn pointed to the recent incident of an AI-generated message using the president's voice to send out false messages. He's concerned that type of false information will be very, very prevalent in this year's election. 2 Minnesota police officers and a paramedic were shot and killed while responding to a domestic abuse call early today in a Minneapolis suburb. Dylan Howell says he heard a few bangs a minute apart in his Burnsville neighborhood.
I'm not sure that those were gunshots. They might have been, tear gas or flashbangs or something.
According to the Star Tribune, law enforcement sources confirmed the suspected gunman died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Burnsville is about 15 miles south of Minneapolis. Police are expected to provide more details at a news conference later today at Burnsville City Hall. A biopic about a reggae legend tops this weekend's box office. Bob Marley, One Love, took in an estimated $27.7 million in its opening weekend. The movie debuted on February 14th and set a record for the biggest midweek Valentine's Day opening ever. Madam Web opened in second place, while Argyle dropped to third. You're listening to The Latest. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
And now, the voices of KCAA with an exciting announcement.
Want to hear NBC News or KCAA anywhere you go? Well, now there's an app for that.
KCAA is celebrating 25 years and our silver anniversary with a brand new app.
The new KCAA app is now available on your smart device, cell phone, in your car, or any place.
Just search KCAA on Google Play or in the Apple Store.
One touch and you can listen on your car radio, Bluetooth device, Android Auto, or Apple CarPlay.
Catch the KCAA buzz in your earbuds or on the streets, celebrating 25 years of talk, news, and excellence with our new KCAA app.
Just do it and download it.
KCAA, celebrating 25 years.
Lauren Espy, Century 21 Masters, reminds listeners that a family pet is a year-round commitment. Proper care includes regular checkups, vaccinations, dental care, spays, and neuters, along with flea, tick, and heartworm preventions. This reminder is brought to you by Lauren Espy, Century 21 Masters, reminding everybody pets are people too. Lauren from Century 21 Masters goes the extra mile to keep all her clients happy. Put her 15 years of experience to work for you and call her today at 951-623-6955. That's 951-623-6955. That's Lauren Espy, Century 21 Masters, on the air because they care.
Tune in to The Ferran Dozier Show. Music marks place and time, the soundtrack to life. Sunday nights at 8 p.m. on KCAA Radio. Playing the hottest hits and the coolest conversations. Sunday nights at 8 p.m. on The Ferran Dozier Show. With an array of